Greetings, people. I come in peace. Today's headlines are very interesting. They echo my thoughts precisely. AJ saves the day. The Sun says, AJ to the rescue. Anthony Joshua steps in for Tyson Fury as he agrees huge fight in Saudi Arabia on December the 23rd. Wally Downs Jr. goes on to say, Anthony Joshua will fill in for battered and bruised Tyson Fury and provide Saudi Arabia with a Christmas cracker next month. The 35-year-old WBC Gypsy King was supposed to settle the undisputed decider with WBA, IBF and WBO boss Alexander Usyk on December the 23rd in Riyadh. But he fluffed his lines at the October the 28th rehearsal when he was floored by boxing debutant Francis Ngannou and needed some generous judging to cling on to his undefeated record. Wow. I don't usually agree with these journalists, but I do with that article there. Well, normal order of service has resumed. You know, when Frank Warren first said game changed, he didn't mean it to be like this. Frank kicks off the press conference thanking the Gypsy King for making it all possible. Yeah, right. I suppose in a way the Gypsy King did make it possible. The Gypsy King's flop made it all possible. It's funny, a couple of weeks ago they were saying AJ is frozen out in the cold and giggling about it. This would have never happened if Fury beat Ngannou without the controversy. Fury would have been booked for the 23rd of December with Usyk. The fact that Fury bottled it has left the date wide open. He really has no excuse for not taking that date. Everyone on that card has got 6 weeks notice. And Tyson, with a scratch, a black eye that has healed already, doesn't want it. On top of that, the pay-per-view numbers were terrible. So the Saudis have to turn on the afterburners. The penny has dropped. The real money is with AJ. The figures don't lie. And now the Saudis know. Now Frank has to reluctantly work with Eddie Hearn. And that's great for us. In the press conference, I also like the fact that Dev Sani was subdued by AJ. If you notice, he was asking leading questions, trying to perpetuate the notion that AJ has avoided Wilder. Anything to take the shine away from him. That same old trope. It was a very wise move for AJ to take the power out of his hands. Why would you give a snide a chance to sarcastically question you? You wouldn't. Anyway, it seems the 23rd is going to be an interesting night of boxing. The two main fights are scintillating. I have to say, AJ never gets an easy walkover. Otto Wallin is a risky fight. Otto has been active. He had some good wins under his belt. He took Fury the distance, cut him, and nearly knocked him out in the last round. And he's just come off a good fight with Murat Gassiev. He also has a good chin. I don't think he's as fast and as explosive as AJ, but he's a tricky southpaw. He's a big man and a good boxer. It's a precarious fight for AJ. But I like his attitude, and I think if he uses his skills and his patience, he could get him out of there. I think it's a 60-40 fight in AJ's favour. What do you think? Wilder and Joseph Parker. That's going to be interesting. Wilder has got the equaliser, but he's limited. And on top of that, he's been inactive. The opposite of his opponent, Joseph Parker, who would have fought 4 times this year. This is a risky fight for Wilder, and I give Joseph Parker a good chance of causing an upset. Wilder might as well have fought Joshua, but I think Wilder was reluctant to take the AJ fight without a warm-up. But Parker is more than just a warm-up. Parker looked up for this fight, and Wilder looked half asleep. We'll have to see. Very intriguing. As for Dubois v Miller, what can I say? I don't know where that idea came from. Why would anybody put Miller on a card like this? I'm sorry to say, This man is the epitome of a scumbag. He's such a vulgar buffoon. I'm frankly astonished at the audacity he has to show his face. Ideally, I'd like Daniel to beat him up and knock him out, but the odds of that happening is very slim. If Daniel moves his legs, not staying in one place for too long, throws ones and twos, maybe threes and displace, and keep it up for a long duration, maybe Miller will tire and he can take him out. But this one sticks in my throat. How does someone like Miller get on one of the best cards in boxing? Someone's not doing their job. This is a man that was caught with 3 or 4 different drugs in him. And that happened twice, a year apart, after a short ban. The words that come to mind is stupid, greedy and deceitful. Some of the most repugnant qualities known to mankind. I will be interested to see what Daniel can do. Hopefully he doesn't quit again. And the win over Gerald Miller will be a little bit of a redemption for him. Anyway, those are the fights that really interested me. The Sanchez v Farr, Herkovich v Demori, Makhmadov v Kabayel. They're filler fights really, and the main names are expected to come through comfortably, and they've got a chance to display their credentials. Bivol and Arthur, another knockover, keep busy for Bivol, and it seems Arthur's just happy to be there. Fair play to him, he's going to get a good paycheck and some exposure. Anyway, thanks for listening. Please subscribe, and remember, choose life.
How gratifying it is to work for the betterment of mankind.